Hello and welcome back. I'm Kyle Laugh, and this is the Laughing Horror News Show, brought to you by the Laughing Horror Podcast. Today is Wednesday, March 22nd, and this is all the horror news from the past 2 days. The official It Facebook account released a snapshot of a magazine spread showing a familiar scene which has been recreated by Bill Skarsgård. As you can see, the scene in question is that of Pennywise standing in the sewers trying to entice Georgie to go play in the underground conduit with him using the promise of balloons and the return of his paper ship. For those who have already seen the original, know that this is a very important scene in the story, and I'm happy that they're able to recreate it for the new film. Another spin-off coming from The Conjuring is now in pre-production. The ever-popular nun character, who was introduced as an antagonist in the Conjuring sequel, has been given her own film, which is set to begin filming in May. While no official synopsis is available as of right now, we do have news that the current release date is set for Friday, July 18th of next year. Australia has banned the upcoming Outlast 2 title from release in its country. The reason for the ban, according to online reports, is due to a singular scene in which sexual violence is implied. This practice is nothing new either, with games such as Manhunt, Blitz the League, and State of Decay also being banned for the likes of violence, torture, and drug use. As they've demonstrated in the past with Duke Nukem 3D and most Grand Theft Auto games, once a censored version of the game in question is made available, they will likely allow its release. Director of the next Jurassic World installment, Zak Bagans, gave fans a quick glimpse into what they could expect from the newest entry into the franchise. That being the reveal that they are currently using animatronics as opposed to CGI to create the dinosaurs on screen. The tidbit of information came in a picture from Bagans' Twitter account, which stated, 11 puppeteers working under our feet giving life to a dinosaur. Great work. Hashtag JW2. This excites me and should bring me right back to my childhood, as if I'm watching the original again for the first time. Ivan Reitman spoke to IO9 in regards to the new VR game entitled Ghostbusters Now Hiring. During their chat, Reitman had the following to say regarding the current state of the 30-year-old franchise. We certainly would have loved to have a larger hit, but considering the last film was almost 30 years ago, it did extremely well. I think the film cost too much, frankly, and that's the real issue. I personally had other points of views in terms of where the film should go, and it was kind of a continuous conversation with Paul Feig about that. But Paul was the filmmaker on this one, and he's a very talented director. I wanted to give him enough room to do the film he thought it should be. We jumped into an animated film after the release of the reboot, and we are developing live-action films. I wanted to bring all these stories together as a universe that makes sense within itself. Part of my job right now is to do that. So from the sounds of it, Reitman wants to bring the old franchise and the all-female franchise together in order to make something old fans and new fans could come together and appreciate. Dynamite Entertainment has announced they will be releasing an Ash vs. the Army of Darkness comic book series in order to celebrate the 25th anniversary of Army of Darkness. The introductory book will be numbered as Issue 0 and will be offered to readers at 99 cents, which they entitled an S-Mart Special. And it will be written by Chris Sims and Chad Bowers, with art coming from Mauro Vargas. No exact date has been provided, but we are being told it's going to be a June release. The man responsible for Ghost Adventures is bringing his fan-favorite style of television over to the UK. Zak Bagans is bringing Help, My House is Haunted to the Really channel for a 12-episode season, which will consist of paranormal investigators Chris Fleming, Dandy Landar, and Barry Kai. The release premise is as follows. Families living in homes they believe are haunted will present a case file of paranormal activity to the experts, who will then research historical evidence. Using years of expertise and highly specialized technical equipment, the team will set to work to find answers to the unexplained and free homeowners of unwelcome spirits, or learn how to coexist with them. The show is set to air in early 2018. Hex Media is putting together an anthology film, and they're looking for upcoming filmmakers to be part of it. Hex Media founder Laurie Brewster had the following to say as part of the press release. We are deeply passionate about seeking out new talent in our horror genre and helping to provide a platform for those with creative aspirations. Plenty of extremely talented filmmakers are putting out great short content, only for it to languish on YouTube. We thought that, with a little support and collaboration, we could instead give directors the opportunity to be part of something bigger that we hope can act as a springboard for their careers, and make something pretty amazing and unique in the process. On top of this, Hex Media has stated they will be distributing the film themselves and are looking for a spring 2018 release date. For those who may be interested in getting involved, can do so by checking out their webpage at hexmedia.tv or by clicking the link provided in the show notes. News came out a little while ago regarding a documentary which is in the works for the original TV adaptation of Stephen King's It. Now, Deadmau5 Productions has released a great teaser art for the documentary, which includes information stating that the documentary will feature Tim Curry. In our last piece of news, the Terminator franchise is apparently no more. According to the New York Daily News, the franchise, which has been in talks for another movie to be made and released this year, has been allegedly cancelled. The following is a quote from the New York Daily News' inside source. "It is over for the Terminator and Arnold. The studio has taken the sequel off the production slate completely, meaning there is no pre-production or any plans for another sequel. The talent had been offered long-term deals, but this is not happening. The Genesis movie was seen as a way of reviving the franchise, but the critics were not happy, and somehow the studio bosses fell out of love with making more, even though they made huge profits. Take the information for what it is as of right now. As we've seen in the past, information like this does not always tend to be correct, so we shall see." Thank you for tuning in to the Laughing Horror News Show. I do invite you to check out the Laughing Horror Podcast and follow us on our social media pages, which are in the show notes. So again, thank you, and we will talk to you soon.